All right, The Male Loneliness Epidemic by Shoe0nHead. Say hello, YouTube. Chat. Chat, say hello to YouTube. Uh, so this was recommended by Full Metal Mink from chat. And it's in honor of Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. So let's take a look at this. Let's take a look at Shoe.
I regret to inform you, the men are not okay. That's right, folks. The men are not okay.
All right, hold on. So I think I should first God, she's beautiful. Is she not? Like, is she just like she's gorgeous. She's so pretty. Those eyes do something to me, man. Like, fucking, the wins are still there. Oh, we winning. We winning, all right. I don't want to scare away the hose with the amount of wins that I'd be racking up, though. You know what I mean?
The men have no friends, no girlfriend, no college education, no money, are breaking their legs and inserting metal rods into their bones to be a few inches taller, and listening to AI Batman help them overcome their pornography addictions.
You deserve real love.
Turns out the society that was built by and allegedly for men has indeed let them down. Now you might be thinking, oh look, another boo-hoo poor men video by Shoe0nHead.
What's up, Karma?
Yes.
How you doing?
And if you have a problem with that, tune into literally anything else.
Yay, the man question. Okay, what's the question? I got you.
Men are...
Hold on. Is that a white monster? I feel like that's very feminine. Is that a very feminine monster?
in a crisis, and it seems nobody
I'm not
really
subscribed.
cares. And the people who do care just seem like the people who want to sell them shit. Not me. I'm different. So before we get into this...
Yes, Shoe, you are very different. Oh my god, you're so different. You are built different. Okay, oh, I gotta stop.
Let's...
So, I actually simp pretty hard for real girls. You guys might not have noticed that. You guys might not have known that. Because I simp for so many 2D women that you don't know how I be simping for the really nice looking 3D women.
quickly get into today's sponsor.
Oh god.
Today's sponsor is Holzkern. Holzkern is a young Austrian company that designs unique crafted watches and jewelry made from all natural materials. Their high-quality timepieces come in various designs for both men and women, making them the perfect gift for any occasion. They're a great blend of function and fashion, and overall I just think they look very classy, especially the men's watch collection. I was pretty impressed with the silver casing and blue marble dial of the Naturalist watch, which made for a great gift for my boyfriend. He especially loved the casual yet stylish appearance, making it an ideal choice to wear both at work and at home. I'm also really happy with the watch I picked out. It's made from black and white marble and features a nice black leather bracelet that just feels so comfy. They also create elegantly crafted earrings, very unique handbags, sunglasses, and necklaces, like this rose marble elevation necklace. It makes a really memorable and unique gift for a loved one. All of their products have a 24-month warranty, and ordering online is super easy with free shipping to the US and most EU countries within 2 to 5 days. I'm pretty sure she's one of those, so if you want to get yourself a good quality watch and support the channel, I highly recommend checking out their store and clicking the link in the description
it's kind of on
below.
brand, I think.
Use my special code SHOE15 at checkout. That will give you 15% off for all products store-wide. So go to the link down below and choose your own unique piece of nature. Thank you, Holzkern, for sponsoring this video, and thank you, the viewer, as always, for not skipping the ad.
Why are men and boys struggling? And what should we do about it?
A few new studies have come out that have shown that young men are more lonely and single than ever before. But it's not just men. The women and children...
Joke's on you. I'm not more single than ever before. Because I've always been the same kind of single. She's whatever her current boyfriend is. Right now she's trad based. You know, I like a pliable girl.
children too. It's predicted 45% of women will be single and childless by
Chat,
2030.
I can make her
But
worse.
according to the media, this is a good thing. The she-economy is booming, as they
The
say.
she-economy.
And meanwhile, men being single is treated like this.
New study explains why some single men are having a hard time finding a new partner.
Some of the music that they listen to speaks very derogatory.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, stop listening to that derogatory music. Then maybe you won't be single. I don't know, I think men and women being single and lonely kind of shows there might be something wrong with society. Perhaps we should address this, not just wave it off as empowering or pathetic. According to several different articles, I love how that's my story.
Remember, guys, listening to songs where it's a female rapper talking about how tight her pussy is good. But listening to dudes cry about depression and going "Meow" out of sheer pain and agony is not good.
I read about it on the internet. Research shows that people from individualist countries show a greater sense of loneliness. This is linked to socioeconomic development, increased education, a shift towards white-collar jobs,
I've only heard
and
the bussy version of
urbanization.
that
Japan
song.
also has an issue with loneliness. In fact, they have a whole
You
movement
say
of
that
people
song
they
like
call
it's
the
only one song.
hikikomori. Did I
Hikikomori.
say that right?
Hikikomori.
I don't care. Basically, postmodern hermits. Mostly young men who
Cleaning the
completely
glasses.
withdraw from society, secluding
can't see
themselves
shit
in their
right
rooms
now.
for months and years at a time. In 2010, there was an estimated 700,000 hikikomori in Japan.
Hikikomori.
And today, it's estimated to be about 1.55 million.
Need to
And
listen
because
to
of
more
things like
WAP,
this, people
less
aren't having
Welcome Home
babies, so
Sanitarium
Japan's
crew.
population has been in a sharp decline since 2011. It's gotten so bad that Japan even produces
So
videos
my,
of live-action women
one of my
staring into the
coworkers
camera to help
is,
the hikikomori learn to
is
cope
a
with
young
eye contact
African-American
and reintegrate
female,
them back into society.
and she
So
likes to
basically,
listen
if you
to her
want to know
music,
America's future, look no further
over
than
a
Japan.
loudspeaker,
A lot of people, including myself,
because we're not
blame
allowed
this
to wear
partially
headphones,
on the rise of
but we
social
are
media
allowed
and technology.
to listen
R.I.P.
via
to the
speaker.
king. Although technology
And
makes
literally
things easier, it can also make us
so
more
many
atomized.
songs.
Why go to the mall?
So many songs about how dudes ain't shit. Like literally, one literally says, "I can't fuck no N-word, that's broke." You know, like wow. Like I can't fuck no N-word, that's broke. And then there's one about I'm his very first bad bitch, or he don't know what to do with a bad bitch. Like it's all this stuff about like this girl being the best shit and dudes just not being shit at all. And I'm just like, Jesus, I'm so tired. I'm so tired of hearing this. Like it doesn't help that I'm not a fan of the genre whatsoever, but holy hell. Like the amount of these ladies that sound like nails on chalkboard that are just hyping themselves up to be like the greatest thing, God's gift to dick, you know? And I'm just like, any warm hole is going to be just as good as you, baby, you know? Like, maybe try not to be a little bitch, you know? Try to be like a kind woman for a change. I don't know, I hate it.
When I can just tap, buy a new microphone, and have it shipped to me in a day. Why hang out with friends when I can get all my social interaction I need from Twitter and streamers? Why go on dates and bother meeting women when I can just tap, Google big boob and get 2 million results? Or see my high school crush's holes on OnlyFans for only $5.
True.
Instant dopamine, instant satisfaction, and hey, who even needs a real woman when you could just have an AI girlfriend? We're f***ed. We're so f***ed. Dating apps
I need to
really
try
are
and
the
see
great
if any of my
Satan.
high school
I'm
crushes have
convinced they've
OnlyFans.
completely broken men's brains. Women on dating apps are picky. Women in general are picky, and I mean, naturally we are pickier. You know, we're the ones who carry the babies. At least for now. But on dating apps, you have to admit, it's a little insane. It's safe to say that the commodification of love and the window shopping of dating apps probably has to do a lot with the rise of lonely single men. Men are not just lonely when it comes to dating, they're lonely when it comes to friendship too. According to Vox, Americans are currently in a friendship recession, and men are being hit the hardest. The percentage of men
don't want to know about anyone I went to high
least
school with.
6 close friendships fell in half since the 90s. 1 in 5 men say they have no close friendships. Looking at all these statistics, the explosion of figures like Andrew Tate is not surprising at all.
I believe being a man is a blessing because it starts so difficult. I believe that every man is born without any value at all. I think that the world's never going to think you're important unless you make yourself important.
And recently...
So, okay. So I know Andrew Tate is a douchebag and stuff, right? But if I knew nothing about him and you just showed me that clip, I'd be in, right? I'd be like, you know what? That speaks to me on a spiritual level. And that's how it happens. That's how that shit happens. Andrew Tate is a 9-year-old's impression of what a man is. It's a good thing I never got past the age of 9 mentally. Hell yeah, let's go.
A new study came out about how young men are moving towards the right. And every other month, we, the liberal, sockdem, leftists, whatever you want to call the space online, performs the same song and dance. What's wrong with men? Why is this happening? Why don't we have a leftist Andrew Tate? We need to push men to the left. Andrew Tate rarely, if ever, talks about politics. Andrew Tate talks about men, and the left only talks about men when they talk about Andrew Tate. A few months ago, during one of the monthly song and dances, some progressive people I follow made the mistake of addressing men's issues, and the even bigger mistake of pointing their finger at their own spaces for not doing enough to address said men's
how
issues.
dare you
Recently,
put the mirror up.
there were some statistics by healthcare company Cigna indicating that men are the loneliest generation. And addressing it doesn't mean that you turn your back on issues pertaining to women, but it does mean that we should be focused on what it is in society that is leading to this epidemic, what the left can do to offer solutions, and how we can basically fight back against the more nefarious figures who have filled the void.
Okay, am I crazy for thinking that this chick is kind of cute in a psychopathic kind of way? I feel like this is the face of a yandere, you know? I don't know.
That men are struggling with, people like Jordan Peterson and what have you.
Probably.
Now recently, Vosh, who's a popular streamer, had tweeted this thread that I think is really important to address. He writes, "I cannot stress enough how important it is to understand that 12-year-old white boys on Twitch are not being pulled into fascism because of some Machiavellian desire to preserve and expand their privileges. It's because the right talks to them and the left doesn't."
The responses to these tweets and this content were very normal, level-headed, and respectful. Me when I lie.
So, okay. She missed the perfect opportunity. This is how I can tell. Actually, how old is Shoe? She's around my age, right? Who cares about Vosh in 2025? I think she's about my age. She missed the perfect opportunity for an old thing. Instead of saying me when I lie, she should have been like, not. I saw that. I watched the first couple episodes of the Power Rangers season, the first Power Rangers, and at the end, Kimberly did that, and I was like, oh my god, that's so 90s. Holy shit! It made me cringe so hard, and I loved it.
LMAO, cry about it. Boo f***ing who? Oh no, poor widow men having problems. Boo f***ing who? Grow the f*** up then. Have men considered being smarter?
Nope.
I'm enjoying all these sad little moids and their sad little tweets about their sad, pathetic lives. Sounds like a personal problem. Is the lack of compassion for men in the room with us right now? Maybe men are just not good people then. I'm so f***ing fucking tired of people trying to make male loneliness a huge societal problem. Yeah, no, their fifis are not my responsibility, and I shouldn't have to be punished because they can't get their shit together as human beings.
You know, bots or morons, who knows? Yeah, so like it's funny because this is the kind of stuff I respond with when people come at me with stuff like this. Like, I've literally been told that your issues are not my business. Like, if they're like, oh, one of your friends or one of the people you follow, they said something that I feel was anti-woman, for example, right? I'd be like, I've been told that women's issues as a man are not my business, that are none of my concern, and I shouldn't speak on it. So it's not my business. It's not my like it's not my business what was said. It's not my business. Like, you know, my reaction isn't important. Was it me? Was it ever me? Honestly, no, and I've been surprised about that. I've been surprised that it's never been you.
Grow the up. Why are we trying to win these entitled little predators over? The left isn't for them. That's why they go right in the first place. We're all lonely and alienated. It's young men going to the alt-right in droves. The problem isn't our messaging, it's them. It's literally not our problem. Men flock to Andrew Tate not because they're lonely, but because they're bigots. Hope this helps. It's just misogynists being louder than before and not getting laid. LOL. Cry harder, losers. 90% of all homicides recorded worldwide were committed by male perpetrators. We should just get rid of all males, to be honest. This includes trans women, as they still retain male violence. By the way, you know the Tumblr feminists who are like, all men are sexist.
That's like one of the biggest fucking friendly fire fucking tactical nukes. Like, holy
Rapists,
shit.
male tears, penises are evil, blah 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 back in the day. Well, this is them now. Should've just let me cook back then. Listen up, chuckle. I'm white, socially awkward, autistic, in my 40s, ugly, overweight, crippled, got a weird balding pattern, and have bad skin. You know what I didn't do? Choose to become a fascist. Because I recognized most of the sort that look like me are the...
Okay. So this is a liberal man describing himself. And the way he's describing himself is literally the stereotype of like, let's see, white, yes. Socially awkward, I mean, I guess it depends on what social setting. Autistic, I mean, I am a VTuber. In my 40s, not there yet. Ugly, sure. Overweight, yeah. Crippled, no, I'm not crippled, not yet. Got a weird balding pattern. I do not. I've got luscious, long flowing locks. So, those are all the things I have over this guy. Hell yeah for winning.
Problem. I may be hideously ugly and pathetic, but at least I'm not a fascist. Thank you for your input, buddy. You're, really helping the situation. The reason young men flock to alt-right MRA movements is because the left gives brain-dead advice to young men. We need to be more compassionate to them, for our own sake. I'm sorry, but how is respect women brain-dead advice? What advice? Don't rape? Don't be a rapist is bad advice? Help, I have no friends or community, I feel suicidal. Have you considered not raping? Act like a decent...
Hey, I've tried that. I've gone my whole life without that, and that has not helped. I need more solutions, okay?
Fucking human being, it's not hard, is brain dead advice? Brain dead advice like get consent and don't be a Nazi and women are people. Walking up to men struggling with loneliness and depression like
kids, don't be racist.
Incredible. Here's my actual advice I would give to my teen boys as a leftist. 1. Always get enthusiastic consent. 2. Save the planet. 3. Don't say that. It's actually kind of racist.
What, don't say save the planet? There's no context for that. Don't say save the planet. Save the planet is racist? How?
Like, what the f is this? How does this address men and their issues? It doesn't. Why does their advice always seem to be, become a liberal? Hey men, here's how to fix all your problems. Agree with me politically. Men flock to the MRA movement because they're the largest beneficiaries of MRA shit. Imagine
MRA? What's MRA? I know NRA, that's like guns, right? No, I'm not into guns really. I have one, but men's rights activist. Oh, okay. Well, see, I think being an activist is kind of cringe, regardless. Like, I am like obviously I got my own opinions, like everyone else does, but I'm not gonna like go out and fucking with picket signs or like be like go online and virtue signal all the time. Like every once in a while I'll say something about something I don't like online and stuff, but I don't know. Usually it's more out of pettiness than it is out of like hey, the world needs to change kind of thing, you know? I just let people have their opinions, and you know, whatever our differences are, that's our differences, you know? Like, my rule is, as long as you like me and you treat me with respect, then I can do the same. Like, even if you're literally, like, a man-hating feminist, like the stereotypical man-hater, you know what I mean? Like, oh, men are awful, all men suck. As long as, like, you look at me and say, except for Ryda, then I'll be like, you know what? That's fine. That's fine. We can be friends. I disagree with your opinions on all of us being bad, but as long as you still like me and you treat me well, I will forgive you. Exclusively Ryda. I always think back to that one Futurama joke where Bender is like, kill all humans except Fry. That's my moral barometer.
saying women flock to women's rights activism because they're the biggest beneficiaries of women's rights. Like, no f***ing shit. Let's be honest. Aside from procreation purposes, men have become obsolete. Most women can find other methods of achieving orgasm without a man there.
Mm-hmm.
And speaking as a man, most of us
God,
are hard to be around.
This?
And I don't blame any woman for...
Look at him. Look at him. Dude, that's the kind of guy that will literally like, I really don't want to say anything inflammatory, but I mean, just look at, you know what I'm talking about. He would be in the chair.
Just saying, no thanks. Oh my god, dude, this is what every Just Pearly Things tweet looks like to me. Just with the genders swapped. This is pathetic. You know what fixes male loneliness? Jerking off. As a man, I'll say this. Sit down, shut up, and beat one out. You'll feel better. I promise. Yeah, guys, just beat one out. Just off. Just watch porn. Batman will be very disappointed in all of you. It's so funny how men feel entitled to a girlfriend. No, you sexist freak. When one side is like, wanting a girlfriend is sexist entitlement, and the other side is like, here's how to get a girlfriend. I don't know, bro. What happened to males just kicking the bucket? Now they just come on here and try to make their loneliness and misery into some social justice issue. Oh, trust me.
Masturbation.
Men are still kicking the bucket.
Masturbation makes me
they're
feel
not
like
giving
shit.
mind-blowing advice like just to be a liberal. They're outright dismissing men's issues completely. It's not our job to educate them. Since men created the problem, they need to take steps.
I love that, by the way. Like, I've been hit with, like, it's not my responsibility to educate you. And, like, I always love that, because I'm like, oh, cool. So that means I don't have to care. Like, Like, what are we doing here? Like, why are we even talking about this? See you later.
To fix it. We have other things to care about. Men can figure out their own problems that they created. Again, it's not women's jobs to change how men are socialized. It's a man issue and y'all need to address that amongst yourselves. Men created their own problems. Men can solve their own problems. The left is busy. Why does the well-being of other people concern me? Leftist, by the way. It's all systemic issues and societal factors.
This video
and
is
blah,
way
blah,
more
blah,
political
until
than I
it's
was
a man,
expecting.
And then suddenly it's pull yourselves up by your bootstraps. This problem is just a consequence of the patriarchy. Now take a wild guess about which gender created the patriarchy. Solve your own problems and leave women alone.
Which gender created the patriarchy? I mean, considering the only people I hear mention it are women, I'm led to believe that women created the patriarchy.
These people rightly mock the bootstraps rhetoric until the subject is a man, and then it's bootstraps all the way
It's
down.
Shoe0nHead, you
they
should
would
have
never
guessed.
talk
I
about
mean,
any other group this way. It's wild.
hasn't she
And it's
been
kinda
doing, like-
both sides are telling men to
she's been doing some
hold themselves
non-political
up by their
videos too, though.
bootstraps, but one is like, I'll show you how, and the other is like, fuck off. And when they're not telling
Because like I've seen other VTubers who are not into politics whatsoever react to her videos, and they seem like not very political.
men to straight up fuck off, they're giving the 200 IQ answer that nobody
what's her
has ever
bread and
heard
butter?
before. Just
Those
show your
fucking
emotions,
eyes?
bro. And I'm not dismissing this problem, okay? I've made videos talking
those
about
fucking
oh, you're
eyes.
crying at your grandfather's funeral? Okay, faggot. And studies have shown that men
Oh,
are
shit,
scared
that's
to
a
be
slur.
vulnerable, even around the homies. And can you blame them when the media says stupid like this? Fellas, is it woke to open up to your fellow men and discuss history? Men are socialized to believe strength, dominance, and stoicism
Oh
are
god,
behaviors
dude
of a
with
real
like
man.
the most
Is it any
punchable face
surprise
I've
that
ever
men
seen.
are lonely and have less friends nowadays? You have to be vulnerable to make friends. Don't tell me there aren't systemic problems affecting men. Now, while a lot of this may be true, men have been socialized this way for centuries, and this is all relatively a new phenomena. Toxic masculinity has existed forever. If anything, there's less toxic masculinity nowadays. The cultural embrace of, like, gender nonconformity, femboys, Harry Styles in a dress, Barbie movie, blah 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 blah. My point
Hunter
is,
Avalon
toxic
is a moron.
masculinity did
I
not
believe
just
it.
appear in the mid-2010s. But social media did, and the internet did, and the rise of dating apps did, and
Listen, okay, I'm a pretty reasonable dude, right? But I'm also fairly vanilla with a lot of things that I'm into. Some would even call me traditional in a few aspects, but I'm still an anime fan. Like I remember. It's funny because like I was talking about one of my VTuber friends came out to me as trans not too well it was about a year ago actually. Came out to me as trans. They're open about it now, but this was before they had come out publicly, and I knew what they looked like, and I had like a suspicion or two, but I still legitimately thought they were beautiful, right? I was like, you're a good looking gal, man. Like fucking, and I was like, look, as a guy who's not gay, and as a guy who's not like one of those like virtue signaling, like, oh yeah, trans women are women because like of course they are, you know, kind of dudes, who fucking takes every opportunity to post that shit. Like, I'm like, listen. You like, yeah, you have a penis, but you're also hot. Like, I could just move it out of the way, you know? Like, I could just move the penis out of the way. You're still 99 times more attractive than any girl I've ever been with. So like, fuck it. Like, and then I don't got to worry about pregnancy. It's a win-win, you know? Like, would I rather sleep with a very attractive trans female who's got a penis, or sleep with a biological woman that looks like Hulk Hogan? Like, think about it, right? Think about it. Which one would you rather do? I don't think it's a very it's a very, well, I don't think it's very anti-progressive or even progressive to say that I would 100% choose the attractive biological male who was transitioned. I've heard some say they'd take Hulk Hogan with a puss. No. Listen. No. No. Also very noted. Like, I think it's different. Look, there's difference between, because like I'm not big into femboys. So I think there is a difference, because I know Sinistar is really into femboys. I do think there is a difference, but I'm not very sexually adventurous, so I can't really tell you what that difference is. You know what I mean? It's not like I've gone out there and fucking tried all flavors. You know what I'm talking about? I'm just saying, at least with this particular trans woman friend of mine, if the opportunity presented itself, fuck yeah, I would fuck the shit out of that Trussie? Is that trans ussy? Is that how you say it? I don't know. I don't know enough about this trans stuff in order to make an informed joke. I'm just giving you my views. My admittedly very stupid views.
The housing crisis and living in a country where the wealth inequality is worse than it was during the Gilded Age. That all happened recently. Oh my god, the privileged life these poor little boys must have, that their biggest problem is being lonely, i.e. so insufferable that nobody wants to sleep with them. So much more pressing than the poor distribution of wealth causing people to suffer food and housing insecurity. Boo-hoo, you're lonely and have no friends and are suicidal? Wah. Because feeling alienated under capitalism apparently isn't a thing. People are working harder and longer while wages have been stagnant. Men have been dropping out of college like flies. And what does that get you? Poor men. Which, since women are doing amazing in college now, and many are now out-earning men, this most of the time leads to single men, which then leads to lonely men, which leads to depressed men, which leads to the high rate. In my opinion, leftism at a policy level does a great job
I feel so
addressing
targeted.
the shitty material conditions that in part lead to the problems that men are facing, but then absolutely drops the ball when it comes to everything and anything related to men's cultural issues. Many such cases. And why would a struggling man even want to move left when the left appears actively hostile to them?
The question of whether or not the
Holy shit. This dude looks like a vampire. And I don't necessarily mean that in a bad way, but like I just feel like I saw death looking into my soul.
hashtag online left does enough to appeal to hashtag men has become the question du jour. And like, men have most of the money, authority, and do most of the murdering and assaulting.
The average young man in America isn't Jeff Bezos. Also, why did this motherfucker just FBI crime statistics at me? Men do the most murder. Okay?
They like having all of the stuff they don't deserve. They like that. They want it to stay that way because it suits them.
I had a friend who shared some less than safe pics of her from a certain fappening. Which one? Shoe? Or your friend?
Because of the stuff, telling people they're special and deserve all the nice shit that they have, that's going to be an easier sell 10 times out of 10 than like saying, hey, maybe you should have less stuff and other people should have more.
Leftism is when you don't have a lot of stuff.
Shoe?
We're gonna take your stuff. You sound like a
Really?
65-year-old Fox News boomer's idea of what the left is. Are you a CIA agent? The right is saying to men, you will own a house. You will have beautiful children with your loving wife. You will have privacy. You will have free speech. You will own things. And
Now, I will say that that idea also is part of the reason why I'm less than enthused about my position, because like my idea of being successful would be having my own place and having a family by the time I was my age. But when I actually look at it, I'm like, the only reason I have to feel bad about renting a room is that I'm not living the traditional lifestyle. You know what I mean? Like I would love to live a traditional lifestyle, but my means, like I'm living perfectly well in my means. So I really should be happy with that. And a lot of times I am, but you know, every once in a while I'm like, man, I really wish I had that American dream, you know?
You will be happy. And the left is like,
They like having all of the stuff they don't deserve.
but don't get me wrong, Republicans will not do shit. The Republican Party will not do shit. The establishment in general will not do shit to help any of this. But the right is, at least rhetorically, offering men something other than nothing or the eternal HR department.
Yeah,
Every time this
it's
Discord comes
marketing.
up,
It's
there's
all
people
marketing.
like, we need a leftist Andrew Tate. We need masculine role models on the left. But the fact is, it's hard for progressives to organically appeal to men, because a large part of progressivism is oppressive hierarchies, and men are oppressors. Making progressivism look appealing to young men is an uphill battle from the start. And although it's funny to laugh at insane people on Twitter, as always, there have been a lot of left-wing content creators talking about men's issues. If you would have told me this would be a thing 9 years ago, I would not believe you, because anyone talking about men's issues back in the day was called an MRA or a pick-me. But lately I have seen a lot of good pro-men lefty content, and I'll put some links
Wow,
to
that
some
seems
below.
topical
I don't agree with all the points
in
they
the
say,
VTuber
but I
space.
recommend watching. It's much better than...
They like having all of the stuff they don't deserve.
But the issue is a lot of this lefty pro-men content, it's always framed around, how do we get them? As if men are just pawns and tools for your personal politics. How do we make the left more appealing to men? How do we stop lonely men from moving to Andrew Tate? Instead of just, how do we help men? And I think that's a really big issue. Both sides seem to treat men as political fodder. Disposable soldiers in the culture war and real war. Anyway, misandry is real. Oh good, finally! And while it doesn't systemically affect cis men, it most certainly affects trans men. Oh. Y'all talking about misandry doesn't harm men, and trans men are right there reading this shit, by the way. I see, now we only care about misandry because it affects trans men. Everyone stop! It's affecting a group I care about now. I love how the rhetoric just like evolved overnight, from male tears to cis male tears. And I just have to ask, why aren't you including trans men in your misandry,
Nobody told me how lonely being a man is. We knew what depth felt like before we transitioned. We knew what it felt like to like have people want to hug us and to have people want to talk to us and to have a community. And then you transition and you're just a guy walking down the street that people cross the street so that they're not near you. And friendships are so much harder to build. And what's hard is none of this invalidates how real and raw women and people who are in marginalized groups feel about cis white men. All of that's valid. But I also now understand why the suicide rate is so much higher in men.
Welcome to being a man. Here's your complimentary isolation and yellow pillow. I love how even when he's experiencing the
How many guys in chat have a yellow pillow? Be honest. Be honest.
issues of being a man, he's like, this doesn't invalidate people hating men. Come on, bro. Men struggling don't want to be lectured about the patriarchy. They don't want to be told
I do.
it's all their fault. They don't want to be told they're part of the problem, because first of all, they're not. The average 20-year-old didn't build society. They go to work, come home, off to sissy hypno fetish porn, and go to bed like everyone else.
Sissy hypno fetish porn? I know that's a Sinistar dog whistle. Like the pillow itself or the pillowcase? I would assume the pillow itself. I have SpongeBob bed sheets. Guess what, Amelia? You are an honorary man. I will take that.
I've talked about this before, but a lot of men's value comes from the money they make, unfortunately. Men are natural providers, and if they have nobody to provide for, they get into findom or send random girls on the internet money. I'm just kidding.
I have done that. I have sent random girls on the internet
feel like
money.
they don't have a purpose anymore. Whether a job or a career that's fulfilling and pays well, or a woman or family to protect and take care of and provide for, men are lacking purpose. And a man will crawl through broken glass for a purpose. But you know who does make them feel like they have a purpose? No, not him.
I say that life as a man is exceptionally difficult. I say the most beautiful and the most terrifying thing about being a man is you're born without value. Society doesn't care about you.
The absolute audacity to act shocked that Andrew Tate is scooping these guys up after a decade of lol male tears is insane. Andrew Tate isn't the solution to men's problems, but he is talking to them. The fact is, you did not care about them for years, and even now you just want to recruit them, not help them. And that's why you will fail. And hey, maybe I'll be the Andrew Tate of the left. Men, listen up. Wash your penis. So I guess I'll leave you guys with a question. Why do you think male loneliness has been increasing? What are your solutions for this problem? And are you dealing with loneliness? And I will see you guys next time with...
Why do I... Oh my god, she's so quick. Okay, I'm sorry. She's my type in ways I can't describe. And the balls too? Gotcha. I'll do that. Government mandated wives? Nice.
A new video.
Alright. Well that was fun. Holy shit. 40 okay. We doubled the video's runtime with the amount that I actually talked. This might be my most quote unquote transformative react video ever. If you enjoyed it, like, comment, subscribe, please. If you hate me now, also comment and then unsubscribe and tell me why you unsubscribe. Yeah. Bye.